don't wrestle with a pig because you're going to get really dirty and the pig likes it. That's the message that people were saying to the other candidates. Don't mess with Trump because he's better at this than y'all. And he is. He just is, okay? Let's play, just for fun, play that compilation. Somebody online put together a bunch of the Trump zingers. Let's watch them for kicks and giggles.
The 11 leading Republican candidates for president are at their podiums. They are ready.
First of all, Rand Paul shouldn't even be on this stage. In Wisconsin, you're losing $2.2 billion. And when the people of Iowa found that out, I went to #1 and you went down the tubes. I promise if I wanted it, I would have got it.
For anybody on this stage.
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to. Jeff,
Donald, you cannot take
more energy tonight. I like that. Wrong. Don't make things up, Jeff.
Don't cut me off.
Come on. Don't make things up. I will get along, I think, with Putin, and we will have a much more stable world. He just doesn't have courage. There's something missing from our president. It's a terrible statement. I think it's going to haunt him absolutely. I was watching, and he said the statement, and I said, wow, I can't believe it. I think she's got a beautiful face, and I think she's a beautiful woman. I hear your wife is a lovely woman.
She is.
I don't know her, and this is a total
absolutely the love of my life, and she's right here. And why don't you apologize for her?
No, I won't do that because I said nothing wrong. I only say this: she can't run any of my companies. I am not sitting in the United States Senate with, by the way, the worst voting record there is today. Your brother and your brother's administration gave us Barack Obama because it was such a disaster those last 3 months that Abraham Lincoln couldn't have been elected.
All right. Whether you like him or not, he's gonna zing Jeb and he's gonna zing Walker, and he's the king of zing. There we go, the zing king. Could I possibly have just coined a phrase? The king of zing. Or the Zing King. We'll let you decide if it's going to take on a new life of its own. All right, now let's roll one more clip. Let's do the Jeb Bush special interest clip.
One of the reasons Mr. Trump is a frontrunner, Republican voters say, is because they like the fact that he is not bought and paid for by wealthy donors. Mr. Trump has repeatedly said that the $100 million you've raised for your campaign makes you a puppet for your donors. Are you?
No, absolutely not. People are supporting me because I have a proven record of conservative leadership, where I cut taxes $19 billion over 8 years. We shrunk the state government workforce. We created a climate that led the nation in job growth 7 out of 8 years. We were one of 2 states to go to AAA bond rating. People know that we need principle-centered leadership, a disruptor to go to Washington, D.C. The one guy that had some special interest that I know of that tried to get me to change my views on something that was generous and gave me money was Donald Trump. He wanted casino gambling in Florida.
I didn't want
Yes, you did.
Totally false.
You wanted it, and you didn't get it because I was
it.
opposed to casino gambling before, during, and after. And that's not, I'm not going to be bought by anybody.
I promise, if I wanted it, I would have gotten it.
No way, man.
Believe me.
Nope.
I know my people.
Not even possible.
I know my people.
Is there anything else you want to say about this?
No, I just will tell you that, Jeb made the statement. I'm not only referring to him. A lot of money was raised by a lot of different people that are standing up here. And the donors, the special interests, the lobbyists have very strong power over these people. I'm spending all of my money. I'm not getting any. I turned down so much. I could have right now from special interests and donors, I could have double and triple what he's got. I've turned it down. I've turned down last week $5 million from somebody. So I will tell you, I understand the game. I've been on the other side all of my life, and they have a lot of control over our politicians. And I don't say that favorably, and I'm not sure if there's another system, but I say this: I am not accepting any money from anybody. Nobody has control of me other than the people of this country. I'm going to do the right thing.
You got, according to to what you said on one of the talk shows, you got Hillary Clinton to go to your wedding because you gave her money. Maybe it works for Hillary Clinton. It doesn't work for anybody on this stage.
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to...
Donald, you cannot take...
More energy tonight. I like that. Look.
I was asked the question.
I didn't want... It was my obligation as a businessman, to my family, to my company, to my employees, to get along with all politicians.
Okay, now this is a true statement. What Trump said is a true statement. But I want to go a step further. I think that Trump was really weak last night in content on policy. He should have been better prepared in dealing with Putin, should have been better prepared in talking. And you can't just say, well, sit down and we'd get along. We'd get along. We'd get along. Maybe he would. But he should have had a soundbite or two prepared to say what that meant, that I would say to him, you're not going into Syria because we're going to break the back of ISIS. Stay out of this. He could have said that. He could have said any number of things. So that was kind of a downer. But when you hear Jeb Bush go, I wrote a book on this 4 years ago. I made a speech 36 days ago in this very place. I was embarrassed. I really was embarrassed. Really? You wrote a book? I wrote books. Where are my books? Can you hold on? I want to show one of my books. Here. Here's one of my books. Oh, here, let's get a close-up. Can we get a close-up? Can we see that? Why does a nice guy like me keep getting thrown in jail? That's one of my books, Mr. Governor. I've written 6, 7, 8 books. And I actually write my books. I don't have a ghostwriter. We don't know if Mr. Jeb Bush actually sits down and writes his books. All right? It's a lost art. I can still do it. So I was embarrassed for him. Wow, you wrote a book. You made a speech. You let Terry Schiavo die. Okay? You let Terry Schiavo die. What else do I have to say? You didn't have the guts to stand up for Terry Schiavo's life and just go in there with an ambulance and take her out and give her food and water. How could I possibly trust this man? Oh, and then he supported the man who led the charge to kill her, State Senator Jim King. I ran against King in a Republican primary. And what did courageous, principled Jeb Bush do, the disruptor? Yeah, he supported the man who killed Terry Schiavo. That's substance. Let's talk about substance. We'll be back with more substance.